The final item of business today is a members' business debate on motion number 12246 in the name of Alec Crowley on UK Government carbon price support exemption for open cast coal sites. This debate will be concluded without any questions being put, and I would be grateful if those members who wish to speak in the debate could press the request to speak buttons now. I call on Alec Crowley to open the debate. 7 minutes, please, Mr Rowley.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. I am grateful to those who supported my motion and enabled this debate to take place tonight on what I believe is an issue of the utmost importance for my constituents and for communities across many of the former coalfield areas of Scotland. In my own constituency, I have at Crossgates the Muirdean open cast site and at Kelty the St Ninian site, and to the west, near Oakley, there is Blair House. For the first two of these, there was thankfully a bond in place when ATH Resources and then Scottish Coal both went into administration, which meant that at least a level of restoration would be carried out. But there is scope for a better level of restoration, even where there is some restoration that has been able to take place. In the case of Blair House in Fife, the drawn down of the existing bond is critical to funding a viable restoration, and the Council are still advancing on this. Initial claims for repayment have been rejected by the Royal Sun Alliance. Further legal advice is being sought on the next steps and actions, including possibility of court action being considered. Fife Council, like many local authorities, is supporting the proposed carbon tax. Presiding Officer, whilst my focus today is to raise awareness of the massive environmental nightmare that has been left scarring many parts of Scotland's countryside, I still cannot understand why those companies, namely ATH Resources and Scottish Coal, and their directors have not been under investigation and are not being brought to task for their role in this environmental disaster. But the point of this debate is to support the proposal for a carbon price support exemption. I am pleased to say that the Chancellor has signalled his intention to work with the Scottish Coal Task Force to deliver a solution for the restoration. The Scottish Coal Task Force, under the leadership of Fergus Ewan, has confirmed its backing to the CPS exemption and its willingness to work with the UK Government to design and deliver such a scheme. Whilst there is still work to be done, this is a step in the right direction, for there are many sites that have absolutely no solution or a very poor solution. Blair House is the best Fife example, where there is no solution without CPS exemption support unless bond funding the position is resolved. But across Scotland there are a lot of sites like this. Indeed, the extent and seriousness of the problem cannot be understated. It is on an unprecedented scale, some 3,500 hectares of despoiled land. A backlog that represents years of neglect that will take years to sort. Multiple, dangerous, unprofiled and uncontrolled water bodies, sites that are too large and vast to fence, let alone secure. Beyond the general flooding and the site degradation, costs of essential pumping, monitoring and basic security will represent an ongoing cost that most likely will have to be met by local authorities. There is an absolute need to look for a solution, and look for a solution now. The problem has been around for 2 years since the failure of those companies, but communities have put up with the blight for even longer. Problems is worsening as sites flood and degrade. Dangers and risks are there for all to see, and therefore harder and harder to ignore. The task force has met and been supported by all key departments and stakeholders, and no solution or potential solution has been found until now. So we should be clear that the CPS exemption is the only solution on the table. The only way to fix a problem of this size is to take a large proportion of the capacity that caused the problem, albeit other operators, and direct that capacity to solving this problem. A problem of this scale needs game-changing solutions. Whatever solution is found, it needs to result in a large part of the current industry capacity being applied to the problem. There is no shortcut or quick solution. The CPS exemption will be a catalyst to focus effort and attention away from greenfield sites to brownfield projects that will deliver restoration. There are two main benefits from finding a solution now, quickly. First, industry capacity is ready and available today to deal with the solution. Oil and gas price collapse have pulled down already weak coal prices. Greenfield projects are reducing in number, and operators will focus only on a very small number that are still profitable. It is therefore the ideal time to focus efforts on brownfield sites. Not only is the capacity available, but the brownfield sites offer the lifeboat to the industry to see if the coal price recovers. Second, unless that lifeboat can be found, then the capacity will decline and disappear fast. Jobs and skills will disappear. More importantly, mining equipment will be sold abroad. The capability to restore these sites will decline. A huge amount of mining capacity will be required to deal with this problem. Even then, it will take years. Timing-wise, it is a perfect convergence of 1, the need for restoration and jobs, 2, the availability of huge capacity to deal with the problem. Therefore, the current market conditions means the CPS exemption offers a rate and level of restoration that no one previously thought possible. Hargreaves have tackled some of the sites, but by their own admission, due to the shortage of funds, they have only scratched the surface. This proposal has the backing of industry, the backing of all affected local authorities. We need to take action, and I hope that this Parliament can unite to push the UK Government to agree to sign up to this scheme. Thank you.
Many thanks.